What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Bell Outright Occult Gaming with me, your host, Bell Outright, and we are of course continuing our playthrough of Darksiders Warmastered Edition, and this is the Apocalyptic playthrough. So Kara boy Volgren back there giving us a nice tune as we wait. Guess he's a little shy. But yeah, what we're doing here is we are continuing our search for abyssal, what's the thing? Armageddon blade pieces. That's what we're doing. And we're also just wrapping up, getting our collectibles and collecting achievements. Finish up our run. And if you'll notice, today's episode will be post-commentary because the original recording of this didn't pick up my live commentary. So a couple of these episodes will be post, a couple of them will be live, just due to the nature of technical difficulties with the Elgato recording. Yeah, I was setting up for OBS as well to try out, something new, but OBS is a fair bit technical for me. I'm not super well versed in video editing, and I did manage to get the settings the way I want them to start recording. I finally was able to figure that out, but there's still some difficulties with that where the program will crash. The program crashes quite frequently for me when I'm using it. So for right now, since Elgato is the most reliable currently, it's the one that I'm relying on for recording just to finish up some series. But Elgato is by no means reliable. It's just the most reliable option I have at the moment. Because I won't be getting a new computer anytime soon. So I just gotta work with what I got. So I think most of the problem is to do with my computer. But yeah, we're doing pretty good as far as this playthrough goes. We got the abyssal armor. We maxed out most of our weapons. I think we maxed out everything, actually. And forgive me, it has been some time since I actually finished this playthrough, about a week or so. But I'm just, finishing it up.
There he is.
Making sure these have at least some commentary on them, so that you guys can figure out what the heck we're doing. There is why I love Blade Geyser. That those iframes, something neat. And one big development since I finished this series is I did get a chance to actually play Darksiders 3 and actually beat it. And it's just funny coming back to this and just seeing the stark differences between the two games. Because I actually did begin my Darksiders 2 playthrough as well. Began recording that, and just seeing how the differences between the three games is it's like really interesting. And that I'll wait till Darksiders 3 before I talk about the differences between the games. Before I elaborate on it anyway. But yeah, this playthrough, I really enjoyed it. But I always enjoy my time with Darksiders 1, so that's no real surprise. And we are headed up. You of course have used the mask that lets us see into the Shadow Realm in order to find these pockets of air. That was pretty skillful on my part. Grabbing that at the last possible moment. And if you notice on the map, there's actually another treasure chest that we have not seen yet, but it is just below us. Okay, we got 3 more Armageddon blade pieces left. And this is likely when I noticed the treasure chest on the map. I tried to figure out, yep, this is where I noticed the treasure chest. And I'm like thinking like, where the heck is this thing? Like, I've yet to see a treasure chest or a place to get to actually access it. I'm thinking. And this time I actually accidentally found the treasure chest. Previously I knew how to make this thing pop, because it's not on the map, right? I mean, it is on the map, but it's not on the actual level. It's hidden. So we have to do something to actually make it show up. And I believe it has something to do with the parking meters. Either the parking meters or the signs. Because that's the thing. I ended up breaking one and the treasure chest popped up. Or was it a tree? Maybe it was a tree, I don't know. What did I break? Fire hydrant, that's what it was. I broke all the fire hydrants and the treasure chest popped up. Looks like I vaguely remember it was something like that. Like you had to destroy parking meters or signs or what have you. I vaguely remember that. Yep. Parking meters, it looks like. Looks like that's what I'm targeting. And forgive me, I actually can't remember if I got the environmental kills achievement. I must not have if I'm still using environmental objects. But I did get it organically while I was playing, so that's probably gonna pop up pretty soon. Maybe I just remembered outright that you had to because right now I can't even remember, but sometimes these things like instinctively come to mind as I'm playing. There it is, Improvised Kills. So you can get that as long as you know, kind of use objects throughout the game. You don't even have to always use them, but just kind of go out of your way to get some kills with either cars or like those big poles, and even bombs. You can even get kills with bombs. And you'll get that without a problem. It's better than waiting till the end and having to grind up that way. And it's more fun too to try to get it as you go. So now we are headed to the next Armageddon blade piece, and we're taking the scenic route so we can find some more secrets. And I don't quite remember what I didn't pick up yet, so forgive me for that. As far as my commentary goes, but at the time, yeah, I did have a pretty good idea what I was doing. Maybe I didn't max out the scythe yet. Actually, I don't think I did. Yeah, I'm trying to get weapon experience for the scythe. I haven't maxed this out just yet. And Scythe is a lot of fun. I honestly used it quite a bit during my first couple playthroughs. This is the first playthrough, honestly, where I barely use it. Normally, for this game, I use all the weapons. Fist included. Fist is pretty damn good in this game. Or opens doors in the funniest way, really. Just kicks the bottom of it. It looks like I'm grinding for horseback kills too. Not grinding, but kind of trying to just get a few as I go. Same strategy as with the environmental kills. But the horseback kills are pretty egregious. Like a couple of the achievements in the game are just very egregious. Any achievement with the horse in this game was particularly bad because you don't get the horse basically until the end of the game. You know, if you were being, you know, merciful to them, to Vigil, you would say that you get the horse late mid-game, but I wouldn't even say late mid-game. I say that's end-game once you get the horse. And once you get the horse, there's barely any opportunity to really ride it. You know, even as you're exploring like I am, even if you're taking your time to actually look for stuff, you know, there's barely any gameplay opportunity in order to build up the miles you need to organically get that achievement. Any horse achievements, really. Because with the enemy kills achievement, you know, if you go to the desert area, there's barely any enemies to kill over there. The Ashlands, I should say. And just riding that thing for 100 miles is just so unnecessary. So outside of the parameters of normal gameplay, and it really becomes a hard grind at that point. Should have gave more opportunity to use the horse. Alright, and that's just consumable, and yeah, I would say that's not the most worth it thing to get, but it's alright if you're struggling and you need Wrath on the go. It's okay, but as far as being like a hidden treasure, it's not the best thing to go back and get. But hey, we're trying to be a completionist, so that's what we're doing, man. We're getting everything we possibly can. And that's fairly unnecessary, but I guess that's the easier way to get back than having a platform back. You can just portal gun your way over the top of that. And we got that secret there. And it looks like we're gonna keep going all the way until I'm sure we're gonna go to the Drown Pass next. Now, what's interesting is War has some slight edge on Death in terms of mobility in some ways, because he has a double jump, whereas I was very weirded out by the fact that Death doesn't have a double jump in the sequel. I mean, you quickly get used to the fact that he doesn't have one, but like if you're coming directly from this game and then you throw in Darksiders 2, and then you just notice that Death doesn't have a double jump, and it feels weird. But in a lot of other ways, Death is more nimble than War. I would say I do like War's dash more in some ways. Like, he covers more distance with it than Death does. But in other ways, like Death seems to be able to outmaneuver War in a lot of ways. Like Death's, I didn't have as much trouble with Death's dodging in and out and side to side as I did with War. So they definitely improved the dodging mechanic. Because in here, the dodging was, it confounded me in a lot of places due to the fact that your camera and your control were tied together, and it just wasn't always intuitive because it was only 4 directions. Like, if it was multiple directions, or if they did some type of correction to alleviate that controller error, I would appreciate it more. But the dodging in this game, I was just better off without it in some cases. And once I learned how to block it, it did make this one a little bit more enjoyable for this particular playthrough. And this is the portal puzzle of this area. I end up having quite a bit of trouble locating the second place to port. It's actually right below here, but it's going to take me quite some time to actually remember that fact. And it is a very cleverly hidden portal, honestly. There's quite a bit of that in this game. You can see the harvester there has a health leech on it, so it's good for basically getting your health back. And there's an enchantment too you can equip to also leech health, where I think there's one that grants you health upon kills. So we're trying to get that artifact above, and we also know that there's a portal. There's got to be another portal around here, and you know, it looks like we can't use normal logic to find it. You know, but the human mind always thinks there's something I missed. I must have not seen something. I must have overlooked something. And sometimes what we overlooked is in plain sight, and sometimes it's just beyond our reach. So thinking outside the box helps a little bit. Helps a lot, actually. think that's the first level up for the Harvester Scythe. The scythe ebbs and flows within warrior's hands and its destructive power increases. So again, I think that's going to be our first level up for the scythe. It has been about a week and a half since I played, so hopefully that does hold true. I'm sure you guys will know. And the effects of the scythe's power can be immediately seen and felt as it dispatches the enemies now much faster. I love that. I love when the results are immediate. Like you can feel the increase in power. This game does that well when it comes to upgrades. The visual indicators and the actual results for power increases, you always feel them. Always. There are a lot of games where you barely feel that difference because it is just a minor stat tweak, but you can definitely feel it in Darksiders. And I would say that mostly pertains to the sequel as well. The sequel does go the RPG route, so it is a bit more diluted when it comes to upgrades. But I think it mostly still holds true. Alright, and I'm still looking. And I believe I still didn't find out what it was. I'm gonna jump over here one more time, I think. Yep. And look around for it. And there must be an angle I didn't see. There must be a thing I didn't see last time, you know? So I'm still thinking that. What did I overlook? What did I overlook? There must have been something over here. Maybe not in here immediately, but it must be over here. Has to be. Because there's a portal over here, but it has to be within this parameter. It can't be outside in the Scouting Gallow, and it cannot be in the Drowning Pass. So what am I missing? And I think it's around this time that I slowly start to figure it out. Like it has to be. Nope, still haven't figured it out. I guess I gotta look at it to get inspiration. And it's like, oh man, where is it? And this is just desperation right here. This is just complete desperation. It's like, man, I just searched this whole area. How come I can't find this portal? I've done everything. Oh, notice the map. The fan actually changes on the map. That's really cool. That's a detail they didn't have to include, but the fan on the map actually spins around, if you notice that. It's really cool. And I think I might go over there one more time to this side over here, but I think it's starting to dawn on me that the secret has to be in this room. Yep, the secret has to be in this room. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I haven't really taken a lot of time to investigate yet. And so the kernel of that idea is still in place, but I'm just making absolutely sure there's nothing else in here I could do. And it's just funny how the mind works, because I remember the puzzle, I remember elements of it, but I just can't remember it. I just can't remember the whole thing. So, and it's just enough to confound me until finally the light bulb shines and I remember it, which might have just happened. So let's see. I think this is it. I think this is me, wasn't it? Down below? Where down below? Was it? Yeah, yep. See how I just jump without looking? So that's when I just flat out remembered, oh yeah. That's our champion artifact. And now we also got our portal here. And we definitely remember the fact that, you know, that was our main goal, was to get to the portal. So now we got that. We got our Wrath Shard. We need one more, and I don't remember if we've already done the Serpent's Hole pieces, but if we have, then that's gonna be a complete Wrath Shard pretty soon. A complete Wrath Core, I should say. Alright, and off to the Drowning Pass and the collectibles there within, of which typically there are many. And if this is my first trip back, there will still be many, so I'll be able to collect all those. And boy oh boy, on my first playthrough, was it great to finally be overpowered. I wouldn't even say my first playthrough, I would say my first apocalyptic playthrough, which came after I initially played it on normal. But yeah, my first apocalyptic playthrough of this game, when I finally got the abyssal armor and just was able to just walk through everything, man, it was no better feeling, because I was getting my ass kicked on that difficulty. The enemy hitboxes were just like too much for me. Hitboxes and damage were just too much for me. This time though, they weren't too big of a deal. We did really good. We did really good in this playthrough. See, we only really had trouble with I think we did die to the Reaver once, didn't we? No, we actually might not. We died to the initial Reaver because I was shaky on the projectile controls. But the only boss that killed us after that was the robots in the Black Tower, the Black Throne, and they're always bastards. No matter how you slice, those are always bastards. So I knew they were gonna kill me. Other than that, we didn't really die too much. Did we die against the Stygian? I don't think we died against the Stygian. And Silitha normally always kills me. But we really avoid it. That's okay. That's our whole Wrath Core. So we got the max. We didn't get the achievement, so I believe we still have to collect the Wrath Core. I think there's one more in the world, and then there's gonna be like 3 more in the 2 or 3 more in the Serpent's Hole. So we got more treasures here. Looks like we got up to 3. One of them is unattainable. That's gonna be the one in the house, because I had collected everything in the game and I still didn't have that chest. And I looked up. I looked it up because I tried just about everything to get that chest, and I ended up looking it up, and I saw that the one here I saw that you can only get it during your initial trip to the Shadow Realm. I could be wrong about that, but I didn't see any other way to get it. So you gotta get it, and the chest, what's in it is it's just a bunch of souls, which are very important towards the beginning of the game, but not so much towards the end, where you can pretty much just farm anywhere. So yep, we got everything but that particular one chest, which I'm a-okay with. I'm not quite so OCD about it. And yeah, the point about Silitha typically always kills me on Apocalyptic. I believe she even managed to kill me on normal difficulty, but definitely on Apocalyptic she killed me quite a few times in my initial Apocalyptic playthrough, but we didn't have any trouble with her in this playthrough. So the strategies I came up with were very effective. You know, just focusing all your damage and attention on the Chaos Eater, and for her in particular, we really didn't even need the Wrath abilities. We just needed pure gameplay, pure dodging and attacking. The key was in the dodging, which previously I wasn't very good at the dodging, but looks like I improved. Well, in general, I still suck at the dodging, but previously I sucked at dodging Silitha's attacks, but not so much this time. And I did manage to improve my blocking too, as you can see. Yeah, the thing with blocking is that you're usually tempted to just evade in this game, but if you just stand there, calm down, and just block, you'll be okay. War's block is really good. I think it probably, if you're really good at blocks and really good at reading the enemies, it probably makes the game too easy, because I believe you can block just about anything. But I think it was a crime to remove it outright in the sequels, especially in 3. Oh man, 3, if there was one game out the series that needed blocking, it was 3. You don't really need it in here. I only block and I have the abyssal armor already, so there is really no need to block at this point, but I've only gotten good at blocking when I've had time to just kind of relax, because I don't have much to worry about. But yeah, 3 you really need blocking, and it would have been good in 2 as well. I would have appreciated it, because 2 has a lot of the same issues this one has in terms of when you're playing on Apocalyptic, enemies doing. That was a great counter too, by the way. It's pretty good. Yeah, 2 has the same problem with enemies having gigantic hitboxes sometimes and doing a hell of a lot of damage on Apocalyptic. So a block would have been much appreciated there. But for that one, they want you to rely on dodges, because death is more nimble. They wanted to get that point across, that each of the horsemen plays differently. So I do respect that, but at the same time, it is combat, so I think blocking is just fine. And plus, War had crazy amounts of maneuverability too, so I don't really think you can say that the horsemen play differently, and you can't really stick to that when you have War being this nimble in death, and just taking away Death's block because he's supposed to be the nimble one. Like, it doesn't really make sense when you consider that. but all in all, 3 was missing all of that. 3 doesn't even really have a. 3 has the whip dodge, and again, you see me kind of getting loose with the defensive mechanics. Yeah, 3 has the perfect dodge, but 3's dodging overall pales in comparison to the first 2. Even this one, where War's dodge is a bit more unwieldy. At least he covers more distance, forwards and backwards. And a single bound. And that's unblockable. Certain attacks are actually unblockable. So that answers my earlier question of, is blocking unfair? There are certain attacks that you cannot block. This is me exploring, which was good because I actually ran into a fight.
Terribly sorry, but I'll have to kill
I vaguely remember that Wicked K was somewhere over here. And this is a Wicked K, by the way. He's a secret boss who was put in there by a Vigil. He was like a kind of a character they wanted to put in the game for a while, and they ended up putting him in Darksiders 1 at the last minute. I don't believe they named him in-game until the sequel, Darksiders 2. When his name actually appears on the achievement list. He is a bastard in this game. You really have to be good at counters to really get through this without the apocalyptic armor. The abyssal armor, I should say. Either that or use chaos mode, but he does chide you for using chaos mode. In so many words, calling you a cheater. But if you're good at countering, he's not much of a problem. Counters do a hefty amount of damage in this game. So does Blade Geyser. You don't really need counters when you have Blade Geyser. If you just wisely use your Wrath abilities, such as Blade Geyser, you will not need counter at all. The game is actually pretty generous on giving you Wrath and HP. I believe I'm trying to finish him with the scythe so I can get more souls for it. Because we are going to need souls in order to get quite a bit from Volgrim specifically. A few of the achievements require having souls in order to buy enchantments. Enchantment, as well as weapon techniques. So you'll need all the weapon techniques and fully leveled up weapons in order to get an achievement. You'll also need to have all the artifacts. And I completely botched that. We're trying to head to the top, and looks like I was lost at this point, trying to get to the top, thinking I had to chain over there, when really, you just go to the house, you climb up. It's go up some stairs, really. Crows are a great source of HP. For whatever reason. I still don't really get that, but you get a ton of health for them. And this episode is particularly chill. That's what I like about Darksiders, is at the end of the day, it's really a chill game. Like, it's really just a feel-good, awesome game. And for this, you have to use the Shadow Mask, and then use your, which is cool. It's pretty annoying though to have to use that. One right next to it is another chain thing, but it's creative at the very least. Alright, and this is the second one we got in this episode. Second piece of the Armageddon blade. That leaves 2 remaining. And again, one of the 7 pieces of the Armageddon blade. It's the Armageddon blade shard. So we definitely got 2 more, and we're gonna head there too, but we're getting close on the end of this particular episode. And I think what I ended up doing here is trying to find that treasure chest, but again, I have confirmed that you can't get this chest under normal circumstances. You have to get it in a particular chapter where the golem, the giant golem, the warden as they call them, where they forcefully put you in the shadow realm. So you can't use the mask to get it. You can only get it when you're put in the shadow realm. And it'll be somewhere over here, probably in this room, would be my guess. But right now it is not here. So I think that's gonna end the episode. I'm gonna go ahead and let the rest play out. But if I just spend a lot of time here wasting time, what I'll do is I'll just cut out the filler here. So I think that's really all I end up doing, is wasting time. Oh yeah. Digging that landscape there. That's a really good screenshot. Who knew the apocalypse could be so beautiful? I wonder what city this actually is. And we got 2 more Apocalypse Shards. Or Armageddon Shards. I keep getting those words mixed up. And just seeing if they're in the direction that I'm going. Which they are not. There are no shards over here. What's interesting though, what's very interesting is that after playing 3, I'm noticing more and more the maker's touch in this particular world. The maker's architecture on Earth. I'm starting to notice that more. And I can't wait. I think I'll eventually do another playthrough of this and record it once I know a bit more more information about the lore of the game. Maybe another playthrough of the 3rd one and Darksiders 2. But I would love to kind of go through and just look at some stuff again from a new perspective, knowing what I know from the other 2 games. Because there's a lot of stuff I forgot from 2 as well. But 2 does a great job of introducing the makers. It looks like there are some treasure chests here, so just a couple of them. So I won't cut this one out in any way. We'll just continue on. And actually, what you can see if you pause on the maker doors, there's a character in Darksiders 2 that looks very, very remarkably similar to the lady depicted on the door there. Which, yes, she has like a blindfold on, right? There is a maker in Darksiders 2 who she's called the Shaman, and she wears a blindfold. So that might be a call to her, or it may be a call to her particular station, like her job, what she's tasked to do. And I call these maker doors because I believe that's what they are. This area is like created by Ulthane to likely keep out demons. And it's a door that only he can open. Only he has the strength to open it. And War gets that strength when he gets the Tremor Gauntlet. Actually, yeah, this is another Wicked K fight, so I definitely can't cut this out.
Terribly sorry, but I'll have to kill you now.
You brought a friend. Yeah, if you use chaos form, it's trivial. This is one of the few instances of a transformation in these types of games truly being overpowered. Like, you get so much more attack power when you use it. It's ridiculous. Alright. And we are closing in on the end of the episode. So I definitely do enjoy you guys' company. Really appreciate you guys for joining me on the episode. And look forward to more content like this in the future. I love Darksiders, and I love uploading videos about it. But yep, that'll be the end here. I want you guys to take care. Till next time, peace.